because my memory is full and I can't make any videos right now. And I do want to make a little video on what's going on. And one thing that's going on is my hatchback on my Tesla thinks it's open when it's really closed. I'm not sure what to do about it. It creates a lot of problems because I can't put this into autopilot. And the other thing I want to point out is I'm going to charge. I guess I am down to 17 miles of range. I left the heater on to keep the car warm last night, which was nice, in this nice, cold, snowy area. But yeah, I don't know. It normally shuts off once the car reaches 20% charge, and it continued, which is not actually going to be any problem for me because I'm driving downhill and going to be able to make it to the charger. Let's see. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else I could talk about right now. It's mostly on the relationship side of things, and that's actually, I mean, eventually I want to make this live podcast that I do called Is Love Enough, but I haven't got around to actually organizing it. And I don't know, figuring out what to do about it and how to make it happen has been a little bit of a chore for me. I keep postponing it and postponing it and postponing it, even when there's good opportunities to make it happen. Let's see, let's back it in here to the charger. Nice snowy charger. And to get the charger plugged in. It's so convenient using Tesla superchargers. Do we have anybody up this early and checking out the video? I don't think so. Nobody up early checking out the live video. We need to get a good sunrise here. Can't control the zoom. It's going to be a nice sunrise once it comes up. I don't know if I can go live while I go in there and buy some coffee. Should I stay live while I'm buying coffee? I don't know. Or should I just not skip the coffee and sit here and make my video? Yeah, I don't know. Different people's, let's see. What can we talk about real quick? So I can go in there and get some coffee. Just make mention of the inefficient, ineffective, and self-serving legal system that needs to get itself out of people's relationships. Yeah, I think it's a hell of a burden on society based on my experience from the last couple years. I think it for my situation anyways, it's broken up a relatively good relationship. I am currently experiencing, maybe I don't want to talk about it now. I'm having a pretty interesting experience that I'm not going to talk about live in the moment, but it will be good for future episodes. Just trying to find friendship after love and marriage, and our legal system screws that up significantly. I mean, the only concept I can think of that's socially beneficial for no fault divorce, or no commitment marriage, as I like to call it, is the concept that if you grow apart, you should move on, and both of you might find better lives after. And if that's the case, you don't need lawyers helping to ruin your lives while you're making that transition. And they do. They flat out, they do. Even in the worst of situations when lawyers are needed, I'm not sure they're still the best thing. But in the really bad situations where there's fault for the divorce, I guess I can understand lawyers being involved. But if anybody wants to have a no-fault divorce, I think the solution is you got to come to an agreement. And if you can't come to an agreement, there should be like, some kind of mediators or social workers or whatever that help guide you through the process. Or else you have to stay married. Because that's what marriage is. It's a commitment to stay together. And if one person really wants out bad enough, they need to be willing to give up some of the possessions or whatever. But the way it currently is, there's too much profit and unethical motivations for an unethical, on average, an unethical profession. And I mean, most people know that the lawyers are not the most ethical, typically the most ethical. They don't have the best reputation as far as professions go. So why do we use them when it comes to helping us transition through the most difficult time of our lives? And that is the most obvious reason for that is it's historically that way. That's the way it's been. It's a legal contract to get married, which is what you really need to think about if you're getting married, because most people get married for love, and the government doesn't care about that. They just want this stupid legal contract that ultimately really is partially designed. There's a fair amount of the design of it, if you watch the movie Divorce Corp, that the laws are really written to help make lawyers money, and provide the business of divorce more than actually benefit society. And that's just my thoughts and opinions based on my experience. So actually I was just kind of playing with this live because I haven't done it for a while, and go back to just my Tesla problem. Thinks the trunk is open. As you can see here, the trunk's not open. That's what I really need help with right now, because the big problem with that is, I'm charging now, but I can't go into autopilot. I cannot use autopilot when it thinks the trunk is open. So I got a lot of driving to do, and I want autopilot. So somehow I got to figure out. And it's not that it's not quite latched, because I've already fiddled with that. So, all right, I'm out for now. I didn't really expect to make this. It's just kind of like a last minute idea, since I realized my phone with all the memory on it that I can use for making video was missing. So did I get any kind of, I did get, someone said hi. Actually I have my contacts in when I'm making my videos, so that helps. Thanks for the comment. Anyone else wants to comment? I guess a couple more people just jumped on as I'm about ready to jump off. But yeah, maybe you can watch back the playback, and I am out for now. Thanks, guys.